Rocket League, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. And sometimes you get beaten so badly that you can't even recognize your own hitbox. Don't feel bad though, you're not the only one who's experienced this. Even the best players in the world have their bad days. In this video, I'm counting down the 10 biggest blowouts in Rocket League history. I'm mainly focusing on single games because obviously there have been a ton of sweeps, and I just figured it would be more interesting to see those individual games where, no matter how hard the casters tried to make it seem like there was still a chance, we all just knew it was over.
This is the time, they need one right away.
I've taken half of these from 1v1 matches and half from RLCS, so I'm sure there are some that I missed. It's hard to remember or know how to find the results from every single game. So this isn't a sponsorship or anything, but I have found this website called Octane GG that's really helpful for this kind of stuff. And also the Rocket League esports site is also really helpful. So check those out if you're into that kind of stuff. They've been really helpful for these videos. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy this one. Make sure to subscribe for more content like this if you like this kind of video, and make sure to like it if you do like it. Alright, on to the video. Number 10, Flores vs Scrubkilla. If you're looking for some sort of reassurance that you're still a good Rocket League player, even though you just got completely obliterated, look no further than Flores. He's been known to have a bad game here and there. Despite being one of the best 1v1 players in the world, he's just a little streaky sometimes. It's okay though, there are more important things than beating Scrubkilla in a 1v1 match, like perfecting your 360 dribble. Number 9, Mocket Esports vs Team Secret. Sometimes you get blown out because of your own mistakes. Things just start coming against you, and because of your poor decision making or whatever it may be, you slowly lose focus, and suddenly you're completely out of the game. But that's not always the case. In this series, Pashy scored a record-breaking 14 goals. There was more than just one blowout game in this series. Pashy scored 5 goals in Game 2 and also 5 goals in Game 4. In Game 2, however, Freaky and Fairy Peak pitched in a bit, and they ended up winning the game 8-1. You're going to see a theme in this video, and that theme is Mocket basically just going ham on other teams. They've been involved in almost all of the major blowouts in RLCS history. Number 8, Scrubkilla vs Monkey Moon. This was a wonderful $69 show match. You know that things have gotten out of hand when you decide that you're actually better off playing in reverse cam. And unless you're Justin, I doubt it's going to work for you. I will say that Monkey Moon did put up a great fight in Game 2. He should have won it, honestly. And then Game 3 was kind of a blowout as well. But really, what do you expect going up against Scrubkilla? If you've watched his stream, he's no stranger to demolishing console noobs, even if they are in the top 3. Even if you are in the top 3, you're still a noob when you go up against Scrub in a show match. Number 7, Mocket vs Pale Horse. I think the most intimidating thing about Fairy Peak is not his skill on the pitch, but the way he sits when he plays. This dude is just a stone cold killer. Like, he kind of terrifies me, honestly. Even with 165 points, Fairy Peak is still intimidating. I think this game, and really this series, showed the difference between an EU team playing at its best versus an OCE team. At least at that time. Granted, Mocket was on fire at this LAN. Pale Horse wasn't the only team that they obliterated. But I think a lot of people saw this one coming. Number 6, We Dem Girls vs Mocket. In Season 1, We Dem Girls was a scoring machine, but Mocket managed to stick with them and take it to Game 5 in league play. And the game was close until 2 minutes left when We Dem Girls popped off and scored 6 goals without giving up a single goal. We Dem Girls had already beaten Flipside, which was obviously impressive for that time, but this was really the moment for me that I knew this team was on another level in terms of offense and being able to just create incredible amounts of pressure. In Season 1, We Dem Girls did this kind of stuff all the time. Number 5, G2 vs PSG. The DreamHack Open in Leipzig was a really important tournament in the offseason, both for G2 and PSG. Though most of the series was incredibly close, Game 5 wasn't close. We don't see very many Brazils in competitive Rocket League anymore. Teams just have such strong defenses that it makes it almost impossible. But G2 is known to have a few brain farts here and there, and this game was basically that, just a series of G2 brain farts. Number 4, First Killer vs Firewall. Unlike some of the other matches in this video, this series ended up being insanely close. It was probably the best 1v1 series of all time, and part of the reason for that was because of what happened in Game 1. It was Firewall's first appearance on Johnny Boy's stream, so I'm sure he was nervous. His ping honestly wasn't great, and he was going up against the offensive powerhouse that is First Killer. Now, First Killer is super streaky, but when he does pop off, he's one of the best 1v1 players right now. It really didn't look like it was going to be much of a series, series, as First Killer won the first game 12-1. But as I said, it ended up being one of the best 1v1 matches of all time. And part of the reason is because of this blowout in game 1. If you haven't watched this entire series, I've said this before, make sure you go watch it. Like, you can skip game 1 now because you know what happens, but you have to see this series. Number 3, Doomsy vs Fairy Peak. I think it's clear at this point that Doomsy is not the best ones player. Even he would admit that. So what happens when you take a solid pro player who really isn't all that great at ones and have him face off against the LeBron James of Rocket League? Well, this is what happens. I think Doomsy would have been the first person to admit that he really was no match for Fairy Peak in the ones arena. And that's okay. Few are. Plus, you really know it's a bad day when this happens.
This car turned left there. Definitely looked a bit like it was. Doomsy with the handstand. Beautiful. Beautiful handstand by Doomsy. He's trying to guess what he's going to follow her. Oh my goodness, the blast off. What a play. Doomsy. You gotta say, Doomsy's probably the only player who could be losing 10-2 2 games in a row and still be the fan favorite. What a guy.
Number 2, Mocket vs. The Leftovers. Both the Leftovers and Mocket Esports were powerhouse teams in Season 3 of RLCS. The series was tied going into Game 5, and even Game 5 looked like it was going to be relatively close. But then Mocket just kind of went Mocket on them. They ended up winning 9-1 for what I believe is the biggest blowout in RLCS history. Before I reveal to you guys the biggest blowout in Rocket League history, here are a few honorable mentions. Oh yeah, I should probably say something about this one. It really doesn't belong as an honorable mention, but I didn't want to title this video the 11 biggest blowouts in Rocket League history. Anyways, what made this blowout so epic was what Marky Duda had to say about the Flying Dutchman before their match. And it's funny because it was really like a classic Flipside moment. The Flying Dutchmen were sort of this underdog story of RLCS Season 1. It was kind of hyped, honestly. And Flipside was just like, no, you suck. Man, you gotta love Marky.
You also have the Flying Dutchman that you're going to be facing off against as well. Thoughts in regards to that match, because they have been on a tear lately.
I mean, I don't think we've ever lost to the Flying Dutchman, so it's true. I don't think we have ever lost to the Flying Dutchman, so I think we're very confident. They're probably like, you know, crapping themselves because they're like, oh no, you know.
Keep going, keep going.
I reckon the Flying Dutchman would have been pretty happy with 4th, so like they're not gonna be, you know.
You were just so mean. My goodness. You know what? That's why we love you.
Alright guys, so the obvious pick for the biggest blowout in Rocket League history goes to this game between Kronovi and Insolences. In most of the matches we've looked at so far, the losing player was either having a bad day or a bad game, or the winning player was just popping off. This was clearly not the case when Kronovi went up against Insolences. And then he also played low 5 on Johnny Boy's stream, and he absolutely demolished both players. Kronovi's total goal count ended up at 17. Even for a 1v1 match with all the kickoff goals possible, this is still insane. It's like a goal every 18 seconds, basically. And it was pretty funny to see Johnny Boy's reaction to it.
He's on net, apparently, and that's maybe going to be 17 unless Insolences can recover, but I don't think he can. Kronovi 17-3. We've seen 20 goals in one game, and Insolences just doesn't know what to do right now. He's actually still like, he's trying. There's nothing he can do. Kronovi in 2K16.
Alright guys, I hope you liked this one, and I hope this video helps you feel a little bit better when you're forced to forfeit halfway through a ranked game because you're down by like 6 goals. Just remember, those people were probably Smurfs anyways. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.